This is the story of why some people started calling Angel Reese a traitor to Chicago, and why the loudest reaction from the Sky's own fanbase said the opposite. 2 seasons as the best player on a losing team led to this, followed by a public criticism of the organization in September of 2025, a suspension over it, and a trade 7 months later, all while her own fans stood in the arena demanding the front office get fired instead of her. LSU is where the resume started piling up. Reese led the Tigers to the 2023 National Championship, dropping 15 points, grabbing 10 rebounds, and dishing 5 assists in the title game against Caitlin Clark and Iowa. A performance that earned her Most Outstanding Player honors in front of an average audience of 9.9 million viewers that peaked at 12.6 million, making it the most watched women's college basketball game ever broadcast. Across her 2 seasons there, she pulled down 14.4 rebounds a game and scored 20.9 points a night, building toward a career total of 555 rebounds, an SEC record. She set the NCAA's single-season double-double record with 34 in her very first year at LSU, then added 27 more as a sophomore, closing out her college career with 61 double-doubles total. That kind of production doesn't stay hidden for long, and the Chicago Sky went and got her any way they could, giving up the number 8 pick, forward Sika Cone, a 2025 second-round pick, and the rights to swap their 2026 first-round pick. Chicago traded up just to grab Reese 7th overall in the 2024 draft. What followed were 2 seasons that told 2 completely different stories at once, one about Reese and one about her team. Her rookie year, she led the entire WNBA in rebounding at 13.1 boards per game, shattering the league's single-season rebounding record with 446 total rebounds. The result on the team side was a 13-27 finish and a missed playoff spot. And that's when the fallout started. September 27th, 2024, the Sky fired head coach Teresa Weatherspoon after just that 1 season, then turned around and hired Tyler Marsh, pulled straight from Becky Hammon's Las Vegas Aces staff, on November 3rd, 2024. None of that changed the pattern in year 2. Reese posted 14.7 points and 12.6 rebounds a game, enough to win the league's rebounding crown for a 2nd straight year. And midway through that season, on June 15th, 2025, she recorded her first career triple-double, 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 11 assists in a win over the Connecticut Sun, making her the 2nd youngest player in WNBA history to do it. But Chicago finished 10-34 and missed the playoffs again. 2 seasons, 2 losing records, and through all of it, 1 player quietly putting up numbers that belonged in the history books. Across 64 games in a Sky uniform, Reese averaged 14.1 points, 12.9 rebounds, and 2.7 assists a night, earning 2 All-Star selections in the process. And I'll just say it here, this isn't me being neutral. Angel Reese is a dog, and she's one of my favourite players to watch in the entire WNBA. The problem was, by September of 2025, with the season falling apart for a 2nd time, Reese stopped keeping her frustration private. Sitting down with the Chicago Tribune, she put it plainly, "I'd like to be here for my career, but if things don't pan out, obviously I might have to move in a different direction and do what's best for me." She wasn't finished there either, adding, "I'm not settling for the same shit we did this year," and pushing the organization to attract the best of the best because we can't settle for what we have this year. That's when the comments turned personal, aimed at veteran guard Courtney Vandersloot, who was still working her way back from an ACL tear. "We can't rely on Courtney to come back at the age that she's at," Reese said, though she softened it slightly, adding, "I know she'll be a great asset for us, but we can't rely on that." Vandersloot didn't let it slide quietly. "I'll say it didn't feel good," she told reporters, admitting her first reaction had been purely emotional. There was an emotional response to it. None of that stayed a private matter for long, because the Sky suspended Reese for the first half of their next game against the Las Vegas Aces, calling the comments detrimental to the team. An apology followed soon after, with Reese clarifying she hadn't meant to put down her teammates. Here's where the traitor label runs straight into a problem. The fans didn't buy it. At the Sky's season finale, a 91-86 loss to the New York Liberty, the crowd wasn't turning on their star. Signs went up, reading "Free Angel." Chants of fire. Jeff rained down, aimed directly at General Manager Jeff Pagliocca. The anger in that building, organised and loud, wasn't pointed at the player who said the team needed to get better. It was pointed at the people running the team that hadn't. Pagliocca kept his job anyway. What changed instead was Reese's address. On April the 6th, 2026, the opening day of WNBA free agency, Chicago sent her to the Atlanta Dream, picking up a 2027 first-round pick and a 2028 first-round pick in return, while sending a 2028 second-round pick swap back the other way as part of the deal. Atlanta got a version of Reese who wasn't hiding her motives at all. "I love to win, I love to compete, and I wanted to be surrounded by people that can make me better," she told reporters at her introductory press conference, adding that she still wasn't satisfied with where she was as a player. Her point was direct. "That's all I ever wanted. I don't care about anything else." Traitor to Chicago. That's the label some people reached for. But look at what actually happened. 2 seasons of historic individual production, a rebounding record broken, back-to-back rebounding titles won, while the team around her stumbled to a combined 23-61 record. She said what a losing locker room was already thinking, took a suspension for it, and apologized anyway. And when the real fans of the Chicago Sky finally got a chance to point their anger somewhere, they skipped right past her and went straight for the front office. Reese walked into Atlanta talking about wanting to win and wanting to be surrounded by people who'd make her better. None of that sounds like betrayal. It sounds like someone who said the quiet part out loud and got shipped out for it, while the people who actually needed to change stayed exactly where they were.